Let's talk about one of the biggest objections I hear. I'd love to join the academy, but I'm already in debt. I just can't justify spending more money right now. And listen, I get it because I've been there. But if you're in a tough financial position, this episode is going to flip your entire mindset so that you can move forward. It's going to allow you to break out because being in a hole is not a reason to freeze. It's the exact reason to move. The first thing I want to talk about is the emotional trap of waiting until you're ready. Let me hit this on the head. Most people wait until they feel safe to invest in themselves. But if you're drowning financially, that feeling may never come. You're not lazy, you're scared, and that fear keeps you stuck. And the truth is, the longer you wait to allow your finances to get better on their own, the more time that goes by. And time is money and time is compound interest. So you're missing the money and the compound interest by waiting. And what you've done to this point has clearly not put you in a good position. So therefore, you don't have the solution. The job doesn't change or vanish. It just repeats itself, the same cycle that's always been happening. And my wealthiest friends have really good pattern recognition, and my brokest friends have zero clue what I'm talking about. But having pattern recognition is one of the best things that an individual can have because they can see the trends that hurt them or help them in their lives, and they're able to adjust as a result. This isn't about reckless spending. You're already in debt and you're already behind. So it's about finally making a financial decision that puts you on the right trajectory. And if you don't, the cost of doing nothing is extremely expensive. And this is something that most of you are not actually calculating. I can't tell you how many people will keep $100,000 in a bank account and not calculate the cost of the alternative and think that they're just waiting for the right time, so therefore they're not hurting themselves, when in fact they are killing themselves. But like I said, most are not actually calculating the cost of inaction. For example, if inflation's 6% and you have $100,000 sitting there unattended to, that means that your purchasing power reduces by $6,000 per year. So next year, your $100,000 is worth $94,000, and it continually reduces until you take action. So by doing nothing, it actually costs you a lot of money. And I see very common examples, things like 12 more months of paying interest on a debt instead of speeding that process up. And it's because they don't know any better of how to get more cash flow towards that debt. Our average student pays off debt 28 months quicker than anticipated. So the cost of the academy is actually cheaper than the cost of what they're doing right now. Or like something like $500 a month in missed investing because they don't know any better to actually increase their cash flow or invest in the right things. So they're waiting until they're ready, and then it just costs them a ton of money as a result. Our average student finds an extra $24,000 per year, and that's in just cash flow alone. So that's not to talk about what they actually do with that money. And what they do with that money is turning into 6 and 7 figures. Because in 1 year, if you have a quarter of $100,000 more in cash flow, what's going to happen with compound interest in time? That's going to grow into 6 and 7 figures, and that's not an exaggeration. And to put some math behind it, if you were the average academy student, you came in and found the $2,000 extra a month, and you actually applied that to investing, that would give you an extra $1 million or 7 figures over just 17 years. So this is what I'm saying when I talk about the cost of inaction, because I see this all the time when I'm talking to you. You'll come to my DMs or you'll hop on a call and you'll tell me all these issues, and I'll calculate this in my head and realize this is 6 and 7 figures this is costing you. And by the end of the call, you're telling me you can't afford the academy, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense because what you're doing right now is costing you more than the academy. But it's about seeing the long-term vision versus just seeing today. Because today you're out the investment in the academy and you're not out the cost of the inaction yet. But over the next couple of months, the next couple of years, that flip-flops. And when you see the long-term vision, you realize it's actually cheaper to invest in the academy. And most of the time, it's not because of what I offer or the results I get my students. It's actually because you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself to commit. You've never seen success in the past, and therefore you're not going to commit to this process because you don't believe that you can do this. Although you see thousands of raving reviews of other people just like you in the same position doing the same thing. I also see people making the same amount of income for multiple years because they don't have the confidence to level up. And I'm going to share a story of exactly what happened with one of my students here shortly. So staying in your situation may feel cheaper right now, but it's costing you tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's only hurting you. And I'm sure if you told your family that, they wouldn't be too proud. And so when you invest in the academy, you're not just buying an online mentorship program or course, you're buying a path out of your situation. You're not investing in me, you're investing in a plan for you and your family. And it's a community to help people exactly like you because we've already qualified you if you got to a call. So what do students actually get when they come into the academy? They get a full transformational roadmap specific to them. So we're building you an automated financial roadmap that takes you no more than 30 minutes a month that builds extreme confidence and clarity in your situation. So we're talking about every single dollar, where it goes, which accounts, how do you allocate all of the investment education and all of the financial education you need. We're talking about taxes. We're talking about estate planning. Everything from a personal finance standpoint, precise to you. And it's all going to be automated once we figure out the big math equation behind your finances. And that's exactly why our students move extremely fast. It's why they save a ton of money. It's why they invest a ton of money. It's why multiple people are becoming millionaires every single day. And that roadmap is transformational because along the journey, you're working with me one-on-one, along with my entire team. And you'll submit financial documents to us for us to actually approve or deny. And our goal is to obviously get you at a point where you feel extremely confident in your money. And it's a system to get you out of survival mode and put you into momentum. I can't tell you how many people come to my events or maybe come to one of my one-on-one calls to try to go forward with the academy, and they let scarcity hold them back. We've had thousands of students join with debt. That's a very normal situation. And within months, they're out of it. And they're actually building real wealth after the fact. Because our average student speeds up their debt process by 28 months. That's 2 years and 4 months quicker than they anticipated. Because even with the investment of the program, they still move faster than the average individual that's watching scared of their life. You have to get out of this fear mode in your life because not only are you holding yourself back from the investment in the academy, this fear lives and breathes inside of you. And this is taking away from opportunity that you have elsewhere outside of just financial opportunity. And until you break that cycle, the same pattern is going to happen over and over and over, which is why I say pattern recognition is something that the wealthy individuals I know have, and the broke people do not realize. There's a massive lack of awareness. So the next time when you say, I can't afford it, let's reframe what you're saying. Affordability is not about your bank balance. It's about your priorities. Ask yourself, have you spent that amount this year? Ask yourself these questions. Number one, have you spent that amount of interest in this year or even the cost of inaction? And when I say that, does it even register how much you're actually losing? Because most financially unaware individuals can't even tell me how much they're losing. So therefore it's ambiguous, and therefore they can't actually put a number or clarity to the cost they're losing. They can only clearly articulate the cost of the academy. So therefore that's the only number they see. And that's why they decline the offer, when in fact they know it's the right move and it's going to be cheaper than what they're doing. And second, are you spending more money every month just spinning your wheels? There's a high probability, if you're listening to this podcast and you felt this in your soul so far, that this is costing you more money by waiting. I've seen people say no to the academy, but they have a 1% financial advisor fee. They have a 1.5% expense ratio on their investment funds. They have a $400 a month DoorDash bill on their expenses. They are struggling to get out of debt. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have an automated financial system. They don't know how much they spend. They don't know where to invest. They don't know how to allocate their funds within their investments. They have no idea when they're going to hit their goals. They're not on pace to retire. They're happy-go-lucky and assume that something will just work out for them. Hope is their strategy. They have tons of cash on the sideline, losing money directly to inflation. This is keeping them up at night. This is stressing their relationship. Their spouse is extremely irritable when they talk about money. These problems are costing you 7 figures. And until you become aware of that, they're going to continue to happen. And I've had other students say yes, break free of the cycle and become financially free. Let me tell you about one of our students that I referenced earlier. Her name is Miranda. Miranda almost didn't join. She talked to me for a year. So she wasted a year of her life deciding, is the academy the right fit for her? Eventually, she took the leap of faith. So she already lost a year of progress. So she made the investment anyway after a year. And the first post in the academy literally said, sweaty palms. And the first post said that she's extremely anxious, she's working at 3 jobs, and that she feels very overwhelmed when it comes to finances. And in fact, it triggers every time she thinks about it. And so within the first month, Miranda paid off $10,000 of credit card debt. And then by the second month, Miranda went on a fully paid vacation cash to Hawaii. And by the third month, Miranda said she feels better than ever, but here's the catch. Because Miranda paid off the debt, because Miranda became confident, because she was not sweaty anymore, and she did not have sweaty palms, and she loved what the academy had to offer, she was able to drop her 3 jobs and get a job that paid her $500,000 a year in her dream situation in Hawaii. So she was able to pay off her debt, feel better about her money, and live her dream life because she decided to take action. Now, if Miranda, on the flip side, decided to wait any longer than that year, she would not be living the life she's living today. But there are too many people that are afraid to take action because they think the investment is too expensive. But really, the reframe is because they're living in a scarcity bubble and they never actually move forward as a result. It wasn't easy, but the decision she made changed her family's trajectory for years to come. I'm not here to twist your arm, but I am here to tell you the truth because you deserve it. Sometimes the moment you feel the least ready is the exact moment you need to take the leap of faith. If you want a way out and the system I built aligns with your goals, do not wait for the perfect time. Make the time, prioritize the time, and make the decision right now. Don't wait till next week. Don't wait till next year. Do it right now. I'm giving you an opportunity to rebook or to start your journey right now by going in the show notes and booking your call with our team and taking the leap of faith today. Because you know that's what's gonna help your family long term. And we're gonna meet you where you're at. We're gonna meet you halfway. We're gonna provide the roadmap, the one-on-one support, and the results that you came here to get. It's time to take action. So if this episode hit home for you, share this with a friend or family because this is how people are gonna actually get results. Anybody else that you've heard say, I'm in debt, I'm stuck, and there's a constant loop of conversation, send this to them right now. And if that's you, you know where to go in the show notes below. Go watch all of our student wins. You're the next person that's gonna win. And let's talk about how it's gonna work for you and your family. We had students start in exactly where you were right now. They're miles ahead because they decided to take action. You could be next. I will see you next week.